Greetings to you viewers from across the globe. You're welcome to the show Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Odiawa AI for Veegil Media. You will do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Veegil Media, and also follow us across various social media platforms. Don't forget to download the app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Moving on the show today, we will be talking about a series of embattled governors who are working hard, tirelessly to see how they can save their seats. Now, some embattled governors apparently are battling for the soul of their mandate after being duly elected. Well, this is because recently a series of court judgments have sent a lot of shock waves through the corridors of power, leading to the dismissal of several state governors by the Court of Appeal. And ending up in the Court of Appeal, apparently their oppositions aren't quite comfortable over their winnings. They feel they've been cheated one way or the other. Now, just Sunday, this past weekend, the Court of Appeal, led by Justice Alfreda Williams Daudo, ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to withdraw the certificate of return, which was issued to Governor Caleb Motwang of Plateau State. Now, if we recall, there have been lots of court cases from different sworn-in governors from different states. Now, Governor Caleb is of Plateau State. Just a few months back, he was declared a winner after a series of court cases. Now, this particular governor has given credence to the awakening of governors to be unseated who have actually been sworn in. Now, the court declared Ntawe Goshwe of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, as the actual winner of the 18th March gubernatorial elections, therefore ordering INEC to issue a new certificate of return to him. Now, this brought the number of governors actually sacked by the courts to at least 3. I don't want to believe that there will still be more in subsequent futures coming during this Yuletide season when we ought to even be enjoying the festivity. We'll end up facing court cases. Now, here is a list of, or rather I'll say rundown of sacked state governors, including the court's justification for their sacking, or would I say unseating as actual seated governors. First off, we'll start with Abba Kabir Yusuf of the NNPP, that's the New Nigeria People's Party. Abubakar Kabir of the NNPP actually received 1,019,602 votes to actually defeat the APC's candidate, who is Nasir Gawuna, who actually received 890,705 votes. Now, according to INEC, this was according to INEC. Now, as a result, the NNPP candidates won by a margin of 128,897 votes. Now, the Election Petitions Tribunal, under the leadership of Justice Oluyemi Osadebe, actually invalidated the election of Governor Yusuf. The tribunal made this decision by declaring 165,663 votes garnered by Yusuf invalid. Now, my question is, the ballot papers for 165,663 votes, which were not signed or stamped according to the judge, and as much were declared invalid. My question is, right from inception, why was due diligence not given into all these votes which were not stamped or signed? Because upon conclusion of an election, it should therefore be scrutinized, or scrutiny should be attached to all these documents, whereby they look at them and say, okay, this has actually been signed, this has actually been stamped. Whoever is responsible for signing or stampage should also be held accountable, because these results cannot just be uploaded just like that. And if someone else is declared winner and you end up in the courts who is actually deciding the winner. Now, the court ordered that Yusuf's certificate of return be revoked and that a fresh one be issued to Gawuna. Now, the Court of Appeal in Abuja also upheld the tribunal's decision. Fine, so as the other person not to be left out in the cold, and the 3-member panel led by Justice M.A. Adume, he actually determined that Yusuf was not on his political party's membership list, which is the NNPP. Now, if he was not actually on the party's list, Why wasn't this observed before he was actually contesting election? Because even before he will come as the official flag bearer, it's therefore known that a primaries would have been conducted within the party circle. So how then and why was the right mode of operation not adhered to strictly? Why is it after the overall elections, if not there's some hanky-panky going on? Now, he stated that a party must hold the names of its registered members in both hard and soft copies, citing a clause of the Electoral Act, which is true. Now, the judge stated that the tribunal erred in failing to disqualify Yusuf in its ruling. Now, according to the tribunal, it says, and I quote, that the tribunal was wrong not to have disqualified him. The failure to comply with sections 177 is fatal to their elections, where a party carelessly nominates a candidate. Such is a nullity, irrespective of whether he or she performs well. Sponsorship without membership is like putting nothing on something, and it cannot stand. Now, this is a clear, factual example of acting with brazen impunity, as if the constitution is not even being adhered to or stuck to, he held. Now, Yusuf on his own part has, however, vowed to reclaim his mandate at the Supreme Court. Now, we'll see how that turn of events eventually manifests at the end of the day. We'll still be following up on that. Now, moving on to another candidate who is also battling to save his mandate is Abdullahi Sule of the APC. Now, Abdullahi Sule of the APC, in his own case, he actually contested in the Nasarawa State gubernatorial elections. Now, the petitions tribunal actually sacked this governor in October and ordered INEC to revoke his certificate of return and give it to David Ongbubadu of the PDP. Now, Ongbubadu has taken Sule to court to contest INEC's announcement of Sule as the winner of the elections. Apparently, he's dissatisfied. He told the tribunal that his actual votes were unfairly lowered, while Sule of the APC votes were boosted to help him win. Notably in the Gayam and Chiroma wards of Nasarawa State of Lafia local government areas. Now, the tribunal led by Justice Ezekiel Ajayi in its decision deducted the incorrect votes added to Sule and added back that the votes which were reduced from the overall votes of David Ongbubadu. Now, this decision was based on the certified copies of the polling units, which actually results that they were presented by the petitioners. Now, it's a case of one party facing one grievance or the other. Now, whoever is going to be unseated at the end of the day now is actually going to dance to the tune of the music. He or she didn't actually press the play button. And it's kind of disturbing. And the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has since then reversed judgment on the appeal, which was actually meted out from the previous court. Now, moving on to another candidate who is actually struggling or fighting, or will I say battling to save his own mandate, is Dauda Lawal of the PDP. Now, moving on, Dauda Lawal of the PDP is another embattled governor, and he's, he had actually been declared as the winner of Zamfara State, the Zamfara gubernatorial elections, defeating the incumbent governor Bello Matawale of the APC. Now, Matawale had filed a case with the tribunal contesting the results of the gubernatorial elections on March 18, but it was dismissed due to lack of merit. Apparently, there wasn't enough evidence to back Matawale's case. Now, the Court of Appeal then issued its decision declaring that the election was inconclusive and ordering INEC hereby to hold a new election in the two local governments. Now, if a rerun is actually taking place in these local governments, it therefore means that there was all sorts of vices which actually upturned the ongoing electoral exercise. Now, according to the appellate court, Matawale, who is currently the Minister of State for Defense, was able to establish Lawal's invalid election. The governor, Matawale, now further in a statement as issued by his own spokesperson, Suleiman Idris, said his legal team was reviewing the judgment before taking any necessary actions. Now, last on the list now is the Plateau State governor, who has actually awoken some or raised some eyebrows concerning these governors who are being sacked from office. Is Caleb Motuang, as we began in the earlier inceptions of this discussion on Viewpoint right here. The Nentawe Goshwe of the APC actually challenged the victory of Caleb Motuang at the tribunal, claiming that the governor was not duly and validly nominated and sponsored by his party. Now, if he was not nominated and sponsored by his party, how then could he have emerged as a flag bearer, not just a flag bearer, backed by the party also? These are questions we should also ask. Now, a three-member panel of the tribunal, headed by Justice R. Irele Ifije, in a unanimous decision, dismissed the petition of Goshwe of lacking merit. They're always lacking merit in all these cases. And my question is, did they do their due diligence upon carrying out investigations before pointing accusing fingers? There's need to wine and dine about this in our brains. Food for thought, like I always say. Now, this three-member panel of the Court of Appeal, led by Justice Elfreda Williams Daudu, ruled on Sunday, which just passed, November 19, that the governor was not legitimately sponsored by the PDP, which was actually the party in which he flew his flag for the elections, citing Section 177 of the Constitution. You cannot just come and say you are actually contesting. Prerequisite for any contestant in an election, you must belong to a party. And are you duly recognized by the party? That's another thing. Now, the judge pointed out that the PDP failed to adhere to a standing, which the High Court actually ordered, which mandated the party to organize a legitimate party congress before endorsing its candidates for the gubernatorial and other positions in which he or she was to contest. Now, with all these cases now coming up, we want to see via whatever news or media platforms and keep up to date, being politically aware, how these candidates were actually sworn in, or could it also be a case of their oppositions trying to unseat them for selfish gains? The major accusation here now, or bone of contention in court, have been candidates not being duly recognized by their parties or being sponsored by their parties. How then did they emerge for the campaigns? If not that there were some squabbles within the party, which the party chose to overlook. But the Constitution or the Act also says in Section 177 that these ought to be put in check. And if they were not put in check, and it's found out that these governors actually have to be unseated, I think we should revisit it from time to time over and over again. I'm Odiawa AI for Viewpoint, and this is Veegil Media. You will do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Veegil Media, and follow us across various social media platforms. And don't forget to download the app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Thanks for watching.